The Floating Gardens, an Aztec Sleep Story. Chapter 1. The Morning Mist over Tenochtitlan, Extended Edition *. You wake slowly, softly, as if the world itself is hesitant to disturb your peace. A faint breeze carries with it the scent of damp stone and blossoming water lilies, and the rhythmic lapping of water against the carved edges of the canal steps plays gently in your ears, like a memory you've always known. The air is cool and damp, fresh with the dew of a new day. It moves over your skin like a whisper, brushing away the last threads of sleep. You are in Tenochtitlan, the heart of the Mexico world, a city that floats like a shimmering dream upon the still surface of Lake Texcoco. It is a place born of water and will, suspended between sky and earth, between gods and people. Beneath you, your sleeping mat, woven from soft tule reeds harvested from the lake's edges, cradles your form. The reeds still carry the warmth of your body, their gentle give shaped by countless nights of rest. Around you, the walls of your adobe home rise in humble beauty, smooth surfaces painted with earthy tones of ochre and red clay, pigments drawn from the very soil your ancestors walked. Filtered sunlight trickles in through the reed curtain over the doorway, casting long, dancing shadows that sway with the wind. These soft shapes move across the walls like spirits, calm, slow, ancient. From beyond your doorway, the city begins to stir. The sounds of early morning drift to you on the wind, not loudly, but gently. The low murmur of voices speaking in Nahuatl, your mother tongue, rich and musical. The giggles of children skipping barefoot along stone paths. The echo of wooden paddles dipping into the water as traders and farmers guide their canoes through the canals, their boats heavy with fresh maize, squash, and blossoms from the floating gardens. You rise slowly, mind calm, body grounded. Your feet touch the stone floor. Volcanic Tezontle, dark and cool and alive with energy. The texture is coarse but comforting, reminding you of the land's fire-forged heart. You reach for your manta, a simple cotton robe spun with care. It falls across your shoulders like a breath of cloud, its threads still carrying the warmth of the sun-soaked valleys where the cotton was grown. Outside, the city unfurls before you, a labyrinth of water and earth. Narrow canals thread their way between raised gardens, Chinampas crafted from layered mud and reeds, held in place by willows whose roots drink deeply of the lake's ancient memory. Flowers bloom at their borders, marigolds and dahlias, hummingbirds flitting from one to the next, wings flashing like drops of sunlight. And above it all, wrapped in the soft silver of morning mist, the temples rise. At the city's very heart, the great Templo Mayor pierces the clouds. Its twin shrines at the summit emerge slowly from the fog. The red one for Huitzilopochtli, fierce god of war and sun. The blue one for Tlaloc, gentle lord of rains and growth. Together they hold the balance of your world. Fire and water, storm and stillness, strength and nourishment. But today, there are no rituals.
No drums.
No cries to the heavens. Only quiet. Today, there is only the sound of nature's breath. The wind stroking the surface of the lake. The gentle creak of wooden canoes drifting through lily-covered water. The low hum of life waking to another sun-drenched day. You sit at the edge of your home and gaze out over the waters. Your eyes rest not on the grandeur of temples or the bustle of markets, but on the tiny ripples made by a dragonfly's wings, the perfect balance of a crane perched on one leg at the canal's edge, the slow drift of petals on water. This is Tenochtitlan, your home, your dream, and this morning, it feels like the whole city is breathing with you, peacefully, silently, in rhythm with our heartbeat, and with the ancient lake that holds it all. You walk slowly, unhurried, toward the edge of your island home. Each step feels soft, grounded, as if the very earth beneath your feet remembers you. The air carries the scent of lake water, damp reeds, and distant blossoms. At the water's edge, a small canoe waits for you, its surface smoothed by time and touch, tied gently to a wooden post with rope spun from the strong fibers of the maguey plant. The canoe rocks gently on the still surface of the canal, as if acknowledging your arrival, inviting you aboard. You pause a moment, listening to the water, the silence, the whisper of the breeze between the tall stalks of maize, and then you step into the boat. The canoe shifts slightly under your weight, then steadies, calm and balanced like a cradle held by the lake itself. Your hands find the paddle, its surface polished smooth by countless crossings, shaped to fit your fingers like an extension of your own will. With a quiet push, you glide away from the stone landing, the boat moving forward with barely a sound, parting the mist that clings to the early morning air. Around you, the world unfolds gently. Water hyacinths float past in clusters, their bright purple blossoms resting lightly on the water like pieces of a dream. Dragonflies dart among them, flashes of emerald and sapphire catching the light. Overhead, a single great blue heron stands like a statue at the edge of the shallows, its long neck stretched, perfectly still, waiting for the shimmer of a fish beneath the surface. You pause your paddling, watching, and as the bird waits, you, too, become still. Your breath slows. The rhythm of your body falls in time with the soft rocking of the boat, the slow pulse of the lake. On either side of you, the floating gardens extend into the mist. Chinampas, rectangular islands born from mud and devotion, rise from the water, each bordered with carefully planted willow trees. Their long, trailing branches dip into the lake like green curtains, swaying gently, revealing glimpses of life behind them. Here, your people have cultivated the gifts of the earth. Tall maize, reaching toward the sky, climbing beans curling up their stalks, squash blossoms unfolding like golden cups, chilies bright as firelight, tomatoes ripening in the warmth of the new sun. The gardens rest quietly in their rows, cradled by the lake's rich soil, fed by its waters, embraced by the hands of those who know how to listen to the land. You drift past an elderly farmer, his skin darkened by sun and time, hands stained with the deep brown of fertile earth. He moves with quiet grace, tending his rows of maize, whispering words to the plants as he works, words of thanks, of patience, of old memory. The breeze carries the soft rustle of leaves, as if the maize responds in its own language, ancient and green. Further along, amaranth grows in tidy beds, its bright crimson flowers glowing softly against the mist. The sacred grain of the Mexica, a plant that feeds both body and spirit. Its tiny seeds will one day be ground into flour, mixed with honey, shaped into figures of gods for offerings and celebration. But now, it simply grows rooted in stillness, reaching quietly toward the warming sky. By the next bend, you see a woman kneeling at the lake's edge, washing long strips of cotton fabric. Her arms move in rhythm, press and release, press and release. Her hands, wet and strong, coax the cloth against the flat stones, and the sound it makes is soft, hypnotic, like distant rain tapping gently on a rooftop. Each motion is calm, purposeful, a meditation in motion, a song sung not with voice, but with repetition and care. You watch as she lifts the fabric, wringing it gently, droplets falling like tiny diamonds back into the water. They disappear without a sound, swallowed by the lake that holds every moment, every breath, every dream. The canoe continues forward, slowly, peacefully, carrying you deeper into the quiet heart of the Chinampas. Around you, life begins to stir. Birds singing from willow branches, insects humming beneath broad green leaves, the sun rising behind the distant mountains, brushing the mist with gold. But within your boat, there is only stillness, and in that stillness, you float. The soft scent of copal incense drifts across the water, sweet and sacred, carried on the morning breeze like a prayer made of smoke. Somewhere nearby, from a small stone shrine nestled on a neighboring island, thin curls of white rise toward the sky. At its base, fresh marigolds, some passacil, have been lovingly arranged, their bright orange petals glowing against the dark, porous surface of volcanic rock. The flowers are gifts, reminders, placed to honor spirits and ancestors, to mark this day with light and memory. The smoke swirls gently in the air, mingling with the lake's natural perfume, the scent of reeds and water plants, of damp soil and early sun. It fills your lungs with something ancient, something deeper than breath. You place your paddle back into the water, left, then right, each stroke smooth and slow. The paddle cuts through the surface, creating small whirlpools that spin for a moment, then vanish without a trace. Your canoe glides forward with the grace of a heron, effortless and quiet, following ancient waterways carved by time and care. These canals are not just paths through water. They are connections between homes, between hearts, between generations. Ahead, a great cypress tree rises from the edge of a chinampa. Its wide trunk is knotted and weathered, its bark furrowed like the lines in a wise elder's hands. The tree stands as a silent witness to centuries of life lived on the lake. Its thick roots reach deep into the rich soil of the garden bed, anchoring it with strength. Overhead, its branches stretch outward like arms in embrace, and from those limbs hang threads of Spanish moss, soft, gray-green curtains swaying with the breeze, casting dappled shadows across the earth. Beneath this living canopy, a group of children play with clay figurines. Their voices are quiet, almost whispering, as if they sense the magic in the air. Laughter bubbles from their lips, light and clear, like water rising from a spring. They speak in tones of wonder, curious and gentle, as they bring their little creations to life with imagination shaped by tradition. The sun climbs higher in the sky, warming your shoulders, and slowly, the last wisps of morning mist dissolve into light. The surface of the water becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting the sky, the drifting clouds, and the world around you. You look down and see small silver fish darting beneath your boat, their scales flashing in the sun, like tiny jewels dancing in slow motion through a world of calm. Above you, an egret takes flight, its long, elegant wings flapping in slow, powerful rhythm. The bird seems to hover for a moment, its white feathers glowing against the deep, endless blue of the sky. You follow its movement as it soars over the willow trees until it disappears from sight, leaving only a quiet sense of awe behind. And then, from far across the city, you hear the temple bells begin to ring. The tones of bronze and copper chime together, creating waves of harmony that ripple through the air and over the water. The sound echoes across the vast cityscape, reaching every island, every chinampa, every home. It is the call to morning prayers, a moment of connection with the divine, but also a gentle reminder of time itself, of the slow, beautiful unfolding of another sacred day in this floating world. As you continue down the canals, you notice something subtle, something alive. The color of the water changes asterisk as you move from one section to another. Here, the water is dark and dense, rich with nutrients, stirred by the roots of gardens. There, it turns clear and radiant, where underground springs bubble up from the depths of the lake, bringing fresh life to the surface. Each stretch of canal has its own mood, its own quiet personal. Ty. Some parts hum with life, others rest in stillness. All of it flows around you, cradles you, carries you deeper into this sacred world of water and breath. You lay your paddle across your knees and let the canoe drift for a moment, trusting the current to take you where it will. The sky is wide, the lake is quiet, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. A soft ripple touches the side of your canoe as another boat passes by, gliding gently through the calm waters. It's a asterisk merchant's canoe, long and narrow, its surface stacked neatly with the treasures of distant lands. There are woven baskets filled with cacao beans, their earthy scent rich and comforting. Obsidian blades wrapped in soft cloth, dark and glassy like frozen shadows, bundles of feathers in bright tropical colors, crimson, emerald, gold, gleaming like trapped sunlight. There is salt too, gathered from the eastern shores, a gift from the sea. But the merchant does not hurry. He paddles slowly, matching the rhythm of the water, as if he knows that the lake itself sets the pace of life here. His eyes are calm, his breath steady. He, too, is part of this peaceful morning. All around you, the floating gardens stretch far into the distance, a vast quilt of green, gold, and earth. Each chinampa is a work of devotion, shaped by generations of hands that knew the language of plants and soil. Tomatoes grow heavy on the vine, their smooth red skins glistening with tiny drops of dew. Squash blossoms unfold like soft yellow stars, wide open to the sun, ready to be gathered for the evening meal. Beans climb toward the sky, and corn rustles softly in the breeze, like secrets being passed between stalks. You guide your canoe into a more secluded canal, where the water is still silent glass-like. Here, lotus flowers bloom in near-perfect stillness. Their pink and white petals rest like delicate offerings on wide green leaves. They float with grace, untouched by time, like prayers spoken in silence to the gods of water and light. You drift among them, careful not to disturb their peace. Near the shore of a nearby chinampa, an elderly woman sits beside a small cooking fire. A clay pot of atoll simmers over the flame, the steam rising in soft spirals into the morning air. You catch the scent: warm maize, gentle vanilla, a hint of honey. She stirs slowly, steadily, never rushing. Her eyes meet yours just for a moment, and she nods with quiet recognition, a shared moment of stillness. Then she returns to her work, her movements as fluid and rhythmic as the lake itself. The morning sun climbs higher, but not harshly. Its light remains gentle, softened by the moist air rising from the lake's surface. You paddle into the shade of a great awiwedi tree, the ancient cypress known as the Tree of Life. Its feathery green leaves form a natural canopy overhead, casting dappled light on your canoe. The air here is cool, touched with the faint scent of tree resin and fresh moss. Beneath you, water striders dance across the surface, their long legs creating tiny ripples in the glassy stillness. They move with perfect balance, barely touching the water, like they belong to some other world made only of motion and light. You watch them, entranced, your eyelids growing heavier with each gentle movement, each breath drawn deeper and slower. A soft breeze stirs around you, brushing your skin like silk, sending small waves tapping gently against the wooden sides of your canoe. The sound is steady, soothing, like a mother's heartbeat in the womb of the earth. You let go of the paddle, let your hands rest, let yourself drift. You close your eyes for just a moment and listen. Water, wind, the breath of trees, the soft rhythm of the world. And when you open your eyes again, there, perched lightly at the edge of your canoe, is a great blue morpho butterfly star. Its wings shimmer in the light, deep ocean blue shifting into silver with each slow movement. It does not fly away. It simply rests beside you, calm and fearless. It is as if the butterfly, too, is dreaming. And together, you float deeper into the beauty of this morning, deeper into the silence, deeper into the stillness that lives in the heart of the lake. The canal ahead curves gently to the right, like a ribbon of silver following the contours of the land. You make no effort to steer. Your paddle rests lightly across your knees. You allow the asterisk current to guide you, trusting the ancient wisdom of the water. It knows this path. It has always known. This is the way of the floating gardens. Not force, not resistance, but gentle alignment. It is the way of the earth, the lake, the wind. It is the quiet dance between nature and those who live in harmony with it. From somewhere in the distance, children's voices rise like the soft flutter of wings. They are singing, learning the old songs passed down through centuries. Songs that tell of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, bringer of knowledge and wind, the one who shaped the world with breath and movement. Their melodies rise and fall like bird calls, weaving ancient stories into the morning air, threads of memory carried forward by small, bright voices. You glance down into the water and find it so clear, so still, that you can see all the way to the lakebed below. Layers of rich, dark mud lie undisturbed, centuries of silt and compost, slowly built up by mountain rains and careful hands. This quiet foundation, this patient accumulation of soil and time, is what feeds the gardens, the people, the city itself. Here, beneath the canoe, is the source of life, the quiet power of what has been gently nurtured. A great white pelican glides past your boat. Its wings stretch wide, but they move hardly at all. The bird coasts low over the water, so close that its wingtips seem to brush the lake's skin. You watch in awe as it rounds the bend ahead, its motion smooth, sure, and completely effortless. Perfect lesson in grace, a reminder that there is a way to move through the world without struggle. The soft breeze carries a new scent to you, warm, rich, familiar. Chocolate. Somewhere nearby, inside a small home shaded by trees, someone is preparing the sacred drink. You can almost hear the rhythmic grinding of cacao beans on stone, the gentle clink of clay cups. The aroma deepens, vanilla, cinnamon, roasted seeds, a fragrance that speaks of celebration, of tradition, of offerings made to the gods and to one another. It is the scent of gratitude and communion, the sweetness that blooms when life is lived in balance with nature. The warmth of the morning sun rests gently on your skin, not harsh, not heavy, just enough. The canoe rocks in slow, steady motion, and your body begins to respond, softening, releasing. Around you, the world remains calm, a soft hush that feels like a lullaby sung by the lake itself. You tuck your paddle beside you, let your hands fall to your lap. You rest your head against a soft woven cushion you've brought, its fibers still smelling faintly of reed and sun. And there, beneath the shade of a whispering tree, with birdsong above and water all around, you begin to drift. Your breath slows, your thoughts float like mist. The weight of your body disappears into the rhythm of the lake. And just before sleep takes you completely, you hear it, the gentle lapping of water asterisk against the Chinampa's edge, a rhythm as ancient as the valley, as eternal as the mountains that hold this lake in their arms. It is the heartbeat of the floating world, cradling you in its silence, rocking you into dreams. You feel safe, held, peace, and as the last threads of waking slip away, you surrender to sleep, soft, slow, sacred, drifting in the embrace of the waters that have always known your name. Asterisk Chapter 2. The Sacred Grove of Xochimilco. You awaken slowly, peacefully, your canoe having drifted into a secluded inlet, cradled by towering cypress trees. The water here is darker, deeper, its color shaped by the ancient roots that reach down like gentle fingers into the lakebed. This is Xochimilco, the land of flower gardens, where sacred plants thrive beneath the protection of elder trees. The air is rich with the scent of earth and living things, damp loam, clear water, and the faint perfume of countless blossoms thriving in the cool shade. Your canoe rocks gently against a natural landing made of interwoven roots and gathered soil. You step out slowly, your feet sinking slightly into the soft ground, feeling the earth welcome you with warmth. All around you stand the ancient awiwedi trees, their trunks so massive that it would take 10 people, hand in hand, to encircle just one. These sentinels have stood here longer than memory, witnessing generations rise and fall. Their bark is deeply furrowed, textured like the skin of some wise and gentle giant. Spanish moss drapes from the branches like curtains of silver and green, gently swaying with the breeze. It filters the sunlight, casting a soft, ethereal glow that touches everything with magic. You walk forward along a path of packed earth, your footsteps muffled by a quiet carpet of fallen leaves. Everywhere around you, flowers bloom in dazzling variety. These are the gardens that gave Xochimilco its name. Dahlias stretch toward the light in a riot of color, from deep violet to the palest yellow. The blossoms are as large as your hand, their silky petals cool to the touch. You kneel beside one particularly striking flower, its red petals edged in gold, and breathe in its delicate fragrance. In another bed, marigolds grow in precise rows, their fiery orange and golden blooms glowing in the dappled light. These are sympassical asterisk, flowers of remembrance, flowers of the dead. But here, they speak of life, of continuity, of the eternal rhythm that connects all things. An elderly woman tends to them gently, using a carved wooden tool. Her movements are slow, deliberate, and full of reverence. As you approach, she looks up. Her face is lined by time but softened by kindness, and her eyes shine with the clarity of many seasons lived. "Welcome, child," she says in soft Nahuatl, her voice like wind through leaves. The flowers have been waiting for you. You nod silently, moved by the truth in her words, and feel, deep in your being, that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Vanilla orchids spiral gently up the trunks of the towering trees, their waxy white blossoms unfolding like secrets in the shade, releasing a scent so delicate, so intricately layered, it almost feels alive. Sweet, yes, but beneath the sweetness lies something older, something mysterious, like the memory of a forgotten language whispered by the earth itself. Drawn by this perfume, you follow the winding path deeper into the grove, each breath a quiet invitation to continue. Ahead, a natural spring bubbles from the earth, clear water dancing over smooth, ancient stones, their surfaces polished round by centuries of gentle flow. The sound is soft and playful, like quiet laughter, or the murmured prayers of unseen water spirits. You kneel beside it, cupping the water in your hands. It's cool and clean, with a taste of stone, root, and something quietly powerful, the essence of life itself. Beside the spring, a small shrine rises from the earth, built from carefully fitted stones, perfectly shaped without need for mortar. On its altar, fresh flowers have been arranged with thoughtful care. Red hibiscus, brilliant birds of paradise, pale white gardenias, their fragrances mingle in the still air, creating a harmony of scent so rich it seems to shimmer around you, a symphony for the senses. A clay brazier nearby holds glowing embers, and from them, the sacred smoke of copal rises in soft spirals. The scent is ancient, resinous, grounding. Smoke drifts upward through the trees, like a prayer made visible, carrying hopes and blessings into the sky above. You breathe it in slowly, feeling it clear your thoughts, calm your body, and cleanse whatever weight you carried into this place. In a sun-dappled clearing just beyond, children play in silence, their games made of flower petals and smooth river stones. They lay them in careful patterns on the ground, mandalas of light and color, shapes that seem to pulse with a quiet rhythm of their own. Their laughter, when it comes, is light, musical, as if part of the wind itself. One child steps toward you, a girl with midnight hair woven through with blossoms. She carries something in her cupped hands, and as she draws near, you see it's a butterfly, its wings like living flame, orange fading to deep red. She looks at you with a soft, shy smile, then lifts her hands, and the butterfly drifts into the air, circling once above you before vanishing into the vines. The path continues deeper still into the grove, where the trees grow older, their trunks impossibly wide, their roots tangled like the veins of the world. Here time slows, or perhaps it stops altogether. There is no hurry, only the steady rhythm of growing things, the breath of leaves, the quiet pulse of life. A hammock waits for you, strung gently between two trees. It's hand-woven from soft cotton, dyed with natural colors: indigo blue, cochineal red, the golden yellow of pericon flowers. The weave is so fine it feels like cloth. You lie down carefully, and it welcomes your weight, swaying gently, as if the grove itself is rocking you to rest. Above, the canopy opens in fragments. Through it, sky appears like a dream glimpsed through leaves. Clouds drift slowly, like water lilies crossing a celestial lake, and the light plays on your skin, filtered through green, through time, through breath. You inhale deeply, and your body relaxes. Your mind unwinds. Your breath matches the movement of the hammock, steady and slow. A hummingbird hovers near, its wings a blur, its presence only a shimmer of emerald and ruby light. For a moment, it hovers in front of you, curious, calm, then flits away toward a trumpet vine in bloom. The sound of its wings fades into the hush of the grove. And now, the faintest trace of night-blooming jasmine reaches you, its fragrance delicate, dreamlike, even though the sun is still high. Here, the boundary between day and night is soft bled, as if the plants follow their own time, blooming not by clock, but by heart. The jasmine scent wraps around you like a warm thought, lulling, gentle, and drowsy. Far off, you hear the quiet splash of a fish jumping, a single note echoing through the trees. A reminder that this sacred grove is cradled by water, floating upon the interwoven roots of time, memory, and belief. You feel the presence of it all, of the lake, the trees, the voices of generations, holding you here, gently, in the heart of something eternal. A monk parakeet calls from high above, its voice clear and crystalline like a chime struck in a distant temple. The call is soon answered, first by its mate, then by others, until a soft chorus fills the canopy, layering melody over the hush of leaves and the faint trickle of nearby streams. Their songs reverberate gently across the grove, bouncing between trunks, dancing on the surface of the water, forming a natural cathedral of sound. It is not noise, but music designed by the earth itself. Music meant for meditation, for remembering, for listening. From a side path, half concealed by overhanging vines, an old man emerges slowly. His back is slightly bowed, and in his hands he cradles a wide clay pot filled with fresh spring water. His movements are not hurried. Each step is a ritual, each placement of his feet an act of reverence. He nods to you with warm familiarity, as though greeting a returning pilgrim, then kneels beside the shrine where flowers bloom in sacred stillness. He waters them with solemn care. Not a drop is wasted. Every plant receives just enough, no more, no less, as if he understands their thirst better than they do themselves. The sunlight filtering through the trees begins to shift. It softens, deepens, turns golden and thick like honey. Shadows grow longer but less threatening, as though wrapping the grove in a comforting cloak. You realize, almost with surprise, that you've been walking for some time, or rather, drifting, guided by a path that never seemed planned, but always perfectly placed. The deeper into the grove you wander, the more it feels as if the forest knows you, senses your needs, and gently shapes itself around them. Ahead, a great presence rises. At first, you think it must be a rock formation or the wall of a cliff, but as you come closer, you realize it is a tree, the largest you've ever seen. Its massive trunk rises from the earth like a mountain sculpted in silver-gray bark, smooth and glowing faintly in the fading light. Natural swirls and patterns cover its surface, shapes that seem to shift if you look too long, ancient symbols written in the language of wind and wood. This is the grandmother tree, the heart of the grove, the ancient witness beneath whom all creatures gather, generation after generation. At its base, the land has shaped itself into a natural amphitheater. Giant roots loop and curl, forming seats and alcoves, benches of living wood. The forest floor here is soft and layered with fallen leaves, amber, gold, copper, rust, making every step silent, sacred. You choose a spot at the foot of one vast root buttress and sink down, feeling the presence of the tree settle around you like a shawl. From this vantage, the grove spreads out before you like a great living mandala. Paths radiate outward in all directions. Gardens and glades connect through trickling streams and underground roots. Everything flows in quiet harmony, unrushed, balanced, whole. You begin to sense the unseen connections between things. How the roots of one tree nourish the flowers in another clearing. How the same breeze that scatters seeds carries messages in scent and song. A family of deer glides silently through the underbrush. Their coats flicker with shifting light, patches of gold and dusk. They stop at a crystal pool, drink with graceful movements, their ears alert but unafraid. They know you're here. This sanctuary belongs to them too. The matriarch raises her head, meets your gaze with ancient eyes, then turns and leads her kin deeper into the forest, hooves barely disturbing the earth. You hear water falling, a gentle, silken sound. You follow it and discover a small waterfall cascading down a wall of moss-covered stone. It's no taller than a person, yet perfectly shaped, as if carved by the hands of time. The sunlight hits the falling water just right, splitting it eye. Two tiny rainbows suspended in mist. The pool below is round and still, lined with smooth pebbles that gleam like ancient coins. You approach, kneel, dip your hands into the clear water. It's cool against your skin. You splash it onto your face, and it runs down like tears, but not of sorrow. These are tears of release, of joy, of reunion. With each drop, you feel lighter. Wounds, worries, fatigue, all dissolve into the water, carried away downstream. Beneath the surface, tiny fish dart and shimmer, flashing silver and gold in the dappled light. One of them swims close enough to see its curious eyes. It taps the surface with its nose, sending a ripple across your reflection, then darts away in a flourish, playful, almost laughing in its own fish-like way. The evening deepens. The air cools, but remains pleasant, humid in a way that comforts the skin, like a warm breath rising from the earth itself. The grove feels suspended between worlds. You find your steps slowing, thoughts thinning, replaced by pure sensation. The texture of bark, the rustle of leaves, the music of flowing water.
Somewhere above, an owl calls. Its hoot is deep, resonant, like a distant bell. Another answers, then another. Soon a conversation echoes through the canopy. Slow, deliberate, as though words are unnecessary in this language of feather and night. You listen, eyes half closed, letting the forest speak through sound and silence. You return to the grandmother tree and lean back against her. The bark supports you perfectly, as if shaped by countless other backs over the ages. You are not the first to sit here, and you won't be the last. The thought fills you with comfort, not loneliness. You are part of a chain of seekers, all drawn to this sacred heart. Darkness descends, but not completely. The grove emits a light of its own, not from torches, not from fire, but from life itself. The petals of night blooming cereus unfold, pure white and glowing faintly in the dusk. Their perfume fills the air, heady, floral, narcotic. It lulls your mind toward sleep, toward dreams, toward deeper states of being. The sky above is now dotted with stars. Their reflection shimmers in the surface of the pool. The grove breathes with you, slow, calm, eternal. And so you rest, held in the arms of the forest, where time forgets to move and only peace remains. A light breeze stirs the leaves overhead, creating a soft rustling sound like gentle applause, perhaps even the quiet approval of the ancient trees themselves, welcoming you deeper into their timeless embrace. The air feels alive here, filled with a slow, steady pulse. The rhythm of life flowing through every root that burrows deep, every branch that reaches skyward, every delicate flower blooming in this sacred grove. Your breath deepens, becoming calm and even, perfectly in tune with the grove's serene heartbeat. The last sensation you notice before sleep gently claims you is the profound feeling of being held, not only by the massive tree supporting your back, but by the entire grove, by this floating island itself, by the vast lake cradling it all. You feel wrapped in nature's cathedral, where time moves as sweetly and thickly as honey, and peace flows as softly and endlessly as water. This gentle current carries you, slowly, softly, into the deepest, most restorative sleep you have ever known. Chapter 3: The Market of Wonders. You awaken to the delicate sound of wooden flutes playing nearby, their melodies drifting across the water like the songs of birds greeting the dawn. The music is soft, hypnotic, played by musicians who understand that morning should arrive gradually, without sudden noises or harsh interruptions, but with calm and reverence. You find yourself lying on a woven mat beside a quiet canal, the cool morning air brushing gently against your skin. Slowly, the sounds of the great market begin to reach you. These are not the loud cries of aggressive sellers, but measured, calm voices speaking in Nahuatl, the language flowing smoothly like water over river stones. These conversations carry the patience and respect of people who know that trade is more than an exchange of goods. It is a sacred sharing of gifts, a connection between communities spread across mountains and valleys. You rise slowly, stretching languidly like a cat basking in the morning sun, then begin to walk toward the sounds of gentle commerce. Your bare feet find smooth stone paths winding between canals, each step bringing you closer to the magnificent market of Tlatelolco, sister city to Tenochtitlan, where goods from every corner of the empire flow together like tributaries joining a great river. The first thing you notice is the absence of hurry or noise. No one rushes here. No one shouts. Merchants arrange their wares with the care of master artists, taking time to display each item as if presenting a treasured masterpiece. Every piece is respected, not only for its journey from distant lands, but also for the hands that made it, for the stories woven into its very fabric. Beside you, a woman sits surrounded by an array of exquisite textiles. Cotton cloth dyed in colors so vibrant they seem to glow from within. Deep indigos extracted from the heart of the indigo plant, brilliant reds born from tiny cochineal insects, warm golden yellows drawn from the bark of trees and bright flowers, all combine in patterns that tell stories, histories, and dreams. She runs her fingers tenderly over the fabrics as she speaks with customers, her touch gentle and reverent, as if honoring the months of work behind each piece. From growing the cotton to spinning thread and finally weaving cloth into art. Further along, you see baskets woven tightly from reeds, filled with bright chilies, plump tomatoes, and golden ears of maize. Nearby, merchants display polished obsidian blades that shimmer like captured night, alongside pottery decorated with intricate designs, their shapes echoing the mountains and rivers of the land. You catch the scent of roasting cacao beans mingling with fresh flowers and earth, a fragrance that promises warmth, celebration, and the sweetness of life itself. The market is alive with movement, but it flows like a slow river, calm and purposeful, full of exchange not only of goods but of STO. Rise, smiles, and blessings. Children weave carefully between stalls, their laughter light and unhurried, while elders sit in shaded corners, sharing wisdom in low, soothing voices. As you wander deeper into the market, you feel a growing sense of connection to the people, the land, and the ancient rhythms that have guided them for generations. Here, every step is a dance, every glance a greeting, and every breath a prayer. The morning sun climbs higher, casting warm light over the bustling stalls. Yet the peaceful spirit remains. This is a market not of chaos, but of harmony. A place where time slows, where the heart expands, where the treasures of the earth and the hands of its people come together in quiet celebration. You pause for a moment by a stall selling delicate feathers, brilliant blues and reds that catch the light like jewels. Nearby, a musician plucks the strings of a harp fashioned from wood and gut, the gentle notes weaving through the air like a lullaby meant just for you. You close your eyes briefly, breathing in the mingled scents of earth, spice, and blossom. The market's pulse becomes your own, steady, calm, and full of life. And with this peaceful rhythm, you continue your journey through the heart of Tlatelolco, awake, alive, and deeply connected to the world around you. The weaving patterns tell stories older than memory, geometric designs that echo the shapes of distant mountains, the rhythm of falling rain, and the sacred directions that guide all life, north, south, east, and west. Each line and angle traces the movement of stars across the vast night sky, mapping constellations known to your ancestors. You pause to admire a particularly exquisite piece of cloth. Cotton so finely spun it slips through your fingers like flowing water, smooth and cool to the touch. The woman tending the textiles catches your gaze and smiles warmly. Her voice is soft but rich with pride as she begins to share the story woven into this fabric. Where the cotton was carefully grown in sun-dappled fields, the plants harvested to create the dyes. Deep indigo from the resilient indigofera, fiery reds drawn from the tiny cochineal insects, golden yellows from tree bark and vibrant flowers. She speaks of the skilled weaver who labored for weeks to create this masterpiece, her hands moving with the patience of one who honors tradition as much as craft. This cloth is more than fabric. It is history, identity, and spirit bound in thread. Beyond the shimmering textiles, the marketplace bursts into color with the flower vendors' offerings. Their stalls overflow with blossoms gathered from every corner of the empire's varied climates. Orchids from the steamy tropical lowlands display petals as soft as silk, painted in impossible shades of violet, white, and gold. Each bloom a small miracle of nature's artistry. Dahlias, plucked from the cool mountain highlands, stand proud and cheerful. Bright bursts of crimson, orange, and purple that seem to capture the sun itself. Nearby, plumeria blossoms rest in delicate clusters, their waxy white petals radiating the intoxicating scent of paradise. An elderly man tends his flower stall with movements that seem choreographed like a slow, sacred dance. With a gentle hand, he sprinkles water from a small clay vessel over the blooms, each droplet placed with thoughtful care. His weathered fingers know instinctively the needs of each flower, preventing both drought and overwatering with quiet wisdom. He pauses to adjust a spray of bird of paradise flowers, tilting them slightly to catch the morning sun's golden rays just right, perfecting the display until it radiates harmony and balance. The scent of blossoms mingles with the rising spirals of copal incense burning at small shrines scattered throughout the market. The fragrant smoke curls upward like invisible ribbons, carrying prayers and gratitude to the gods above. This sacred aroma blesses every transaction, a reminder to all who gather here that commerce is more than exchange. It is a sacred act of recognition and respect, an acknowledgement of the deep interdependence binding earth and people, giver and receiver. It is a celebration of the abundance the land provides and the shared responsibility to honor it. Drawn by richer, more mouth-watering aromas, you drift toward the food vendors, where scents compete for your senses with tantalizing intensity. Fresh tortillas sizzle on clay griddles, the corn masa releasing steam that seems infused with the very essence of life. Earth, sun, and rain transformed by human hands into sustenance. Nearby, cacao beans are ground meticulously on metates. Large stone platforms worn smooth by the generations who have labored here before you. The scent of cacao is deep and complex, bitter yet sweet, earthy yet divine, a fragrance that conjures images of celebration, ritual, and warmth. A woman ladles steaming atoll from a large clay pot, its surface shimmering with warmth and the rich scent of vanilla and honey. She offers you a cup carved from a painted gourd, its surface smooth and cool in your hand. The drink is thick and nourishing, its flavors unfolding slowly on your tongue. Corn's hearty sweetness, the soft floral notes of vanilla, and the delicate touch of honey's golden richness. With every sip, you taste the care and skill poured into its making. The tending of cornfields under the sun, the buzzing of bees gathering nectar, the skilled hands that ground the masa and stirred the pot. You feel a deep gratitude rise within you, not just for the drink itself, but for the entire cycle of life it represents. The earth that gave the corn, the sun that ripened it, the people who grew and harvested and prepared this simple yet sacred nourishment. Here, in this bustling market, every bite and sip carries the weight of generations, the blessing of the gods, and the shared spirit of a people connected to their land and each other. Nearby, another vendor proudly displays towering pyramids of chilies in every imaginable size, shape, and color, each variety a vital thread in the vibrant tapestry of Mesoamerican cuisine. Tiny tepins, fierce as volcanic fire, nestle beside broad, mild poblanos, soft as a summer rain. Each chili carries its own story, its unique character and purpose. The vendor speaks of them as if they were beloved children, describing their temperaments, the lands where they thrive, and the traditional dishes where they shine brightest. Some best fresh and fiery, others slow-cooked to coax out their smoky sweetness. These chilies are not mere spices. They are guardians of flavor, history, and ritual. The spice section awakens your senses in full bloom. Dark vanilla beans, slender and fragrant, exude a perfume both complex and intoxicating, weaving sweetness with subtle earthy undertones that hint at ancient mysteries. Nearby, clusters of allspice berries emit scents of dense forests and whispered secrets, conjuring images of shadowed groves and the dance of light on mossy ground. Achiote seeds, glowing red like the setting sun, serve dual roles, adding vibrant color and subtle flavor to food, and also marking bodies with sacred patterns during ceremonies. Each spice here is a storyteller, carrying whispers from distant places where particular soils and skies shape their essence. You pause at a pottery stall, captivated by the elegant clay vessels that testify to the mastery of skilled artisans. Water jugs with narrow necks and bulbous bodies sit poised for perfect balance, designed for easy carrying along dusty paths or over watery canals. Cooking pots, blackened and seasoned by countless fires, promise to enrich stews with their own subtle, smoky flavors. Ceremonial bowls painted with swirling geometric patterns seem almost alive, their designs shifting with the changing light, symbols that speak of cycles, life, and sacred harmony. The potter himself, a man in his middle years, hands stained with clay and years of labor, demonstrates his craft with a grace born of lifelong practice. His fingers move fluidly, shaping the wet earth as if in a choreographed dance. The clay responds willingly, flowing beneath his touch like a trusted partner, forming vessels that are both beautiful and perfectly functional. Watching him, you see how complexity has been distilled into effortless art, and difficulty transformed into elegance. A group of children gathers nearby, eyes wide with wonder, whispering questions and marveling at the spinning wheel of creation. The potter patiently answers, occasionally guiding a small hand to feel the texture of the clay, to understand the endless possibilities held in this humble material. Through his teaching, he passes on ancient knowledge stretching back to the dawn of civilization, when earth, water, and fire first combined to create vessels that hold, store, and nourish daily life. Across the market, the obsidian workers have carved out their own space. These master craftsmen shape volcanic glass, black as midnight, into blades sharper than any metal, their rhythmic tapping sounding like a secret song. The steady, musical clash of stone upon stone echoes with centuries of tradition and patient skill. One obsidian artisan holds up a finished blade, so thin it nearly catches the light like a captured shard of starlight. Its edge gleams with deadly perfection. This is more than a tool. It is a masterpiece, a symbol of human ingenuity, transforming raw earth into objects of sublime function and beauty. The craftsman's movements are reverent, respectful of the stone's power and mindful of its dual nature, capable of both creation and destruction. Nearby, feather workers display their dazzling wares, captured rainbows of plumage that seem to shimmer with life. Green feathers of the quetzal, rich as the deepest jungle shadows. Brilliant red plumes of the scarlet macaw, bright as flame, and tiny hummingbird feathers that shift color as they move, flashing iridescent blues and greens. Each feather is a precious gift from the bird nations, treated with reverence and care. They are woven into exquisite headdresses and ceremonial garments that allow humans to share in the beauty and spirit of flight. A master feather worker demonstrates his art with the precision of a painter selecting colors. His hands move deftly, arranging each plume in patterns that seem to ripple with movement even when still. Layer by layer, he builds texture and depth, crafting works of art that transcend words, embodying the very soul of the natural world. The gentle murmur of water draws your attention to the canal flowing through the market's heart. Canoes arrive steadily, laden with goods from every corner of the empire. Salt harvested from coastal lagoons, fragrant cacao beans from tropical plantations, gleaming obsidian from volcanic peaks. Each boat carries a story of long journeys across mountains and valleys, of people braving challenges to share the richness of their homeland with distant communities. You watch as merchants carefully unload their cargo, handling each item with quiet respect regardless of its monetary worth. A fragile pottery vessel is cradled with the same tenderness as a precious jade ornament. Cotton cloth is folded with the reverence reserved for ceremonial feathered capes. Here, commerce becomes ceremony. Trade, a ritual honoring the bonds between people, places, and the earth itself. Near the market center, the jade vendors hold a place of honor. Their stones shimmer with a luminous green glow, as if solidified water caught forever in the earth. To your people, jade is more precious than gold, linked deeply to water, to life, and to the eternal cycles of growth, renewal, and rebirth. Each piece pulses with its own energy, unique patterns swirling within, carrying the essence of the land from which it was mined. The jade's subtle warmth seems to hum with a quiet power, a connection to ancestors and the sacred forces that shape the world. A jade carver works quietly at his craft, his obsidian tools gleaming in the soft light as they slowly and patiently reveal the form hidden deep within the stone. Each movement is deliberate, a meditation made visible. Every cut carefully planned, every scrape measured with reverence. He does not seek to impose his will upon the jade, but instead listens closely, collaborating with the stone to discover its true nature. Together, they bring forth figures that seem alive, shaped by both human hands and the ancient spirit of the earth itself. Before you, the textile section unfolds like a vibrant garden of fiber and color. Soft cotton, harvested from the sun-soaked lowlands, gleams like clouds freshly plucked from the sky. Nearby, tough maguey fibers await transformation, strong enough to become rope, yet pliant enough to be woven into delicate cloth. Each plant contributes its unique gifts, enabling the creation of clothing, bags, containers, and countless other necessities that make daily life both possible and beautiful. Dyers stand over steaming pots, conjuring hues that rival the blossoms surrounding the market. Their work is alchemical, transforming plants, insects, and minerals into liquid rainbows that seep into cloth and fiber. Each color requires specialized knowledge and secret techniques, passed down carefully from generation to generation, guarded like treasured heirlooms, and shared only with worthy apprentices who show patience and respect for the craft. The air here is alive with a complex, ever-shifting perfume. The mingling scents of fresh flowers and pungent spices blend seamlessly with the warmth of freshly cooked tortillas and the sacred smoke of burning copal resin. Underneath all this lies the earthy aroma of wet soil and clean water, intertwined with the subtle fragrances of cotton, silk, and feathers. Together, they compose an olfactory symphony that tells the story of an empire's richness, of trade routes stretching from jungle to mountain, desert to lake, weaving communities together across vast distances. Musicians drift through the bustling market, their melodies soft and unobtrusive. Flutes trill gentle tunes, accompanied by the steady heartbeat of small drums, crafting rhythms that enhance the market's peaceful ambience rather than overpowering it. Their music encourages people to move more slowly, speak more gently, and approach every exchange with mindfulness and respect, honoring the sacred nature of trade as an act of connection. The afternoon warmth grows steady but never oppressive. The nearby lake tempers the heat, while the constant flow of people and goods stirs soft breezes that carry the market's scents far and wide. You find your pace slowing, your breath deepening, allowing the vivid sights, sounds, and smells to wash over you like a soothing tide, immersing you fully in this vibrant world. At the market's center, a fountain bubbles forth from deep, ancient springs. Crystal clear water cascades over intricately carved stones into cool pools below, inviting passers-by to pause and drink, to wash their hands, or simply to rest while listening to the gentle music of falling water. This fountain is both practical and beautiful, a vital source of refreshment and a serene focal point for contemplation amid the lively energy of the market. Around the fountain, people gather, sellers sharing quiet conversation, buyers negotiating with respectful smiles, children chasing one another while their parents exchange news. The fountain's soothing presence weaves a subtle harmony through the space, reminding all who come here that beneath the bustle lies a deeper connection to the earth, to each other, and to the enduring spirit of this thriving empire. You approach the fountain and cup its water in your hands, feeling the coolness ripple through your palms. Bringing it to your lips, you taste its pure cleanness, a crisp, refreshing gift from the deep springs beneath the lake, the distant rains that nourish the mountains, and the eternal cycle that sustains all life. You splash some of the water gently on your face, the droplets cool against your skin, invigorating your spirit and renewing your senses. Around the fountain's edges, children play with innocent joy, their games weaving delicate patterns from flower petals and smooth, polished stones. Their fleeting creations shimmer briefly before the soft breeze sweeps them away, a beautiful reminder of the market's ever-changing, living nature. Their laughter is light and musical, blending effortlessly into the gentle symphony of voices, footsteps, and rustling leaves. They seem to understand intuitively that this place is one of peace and sharing, where abundance flows freely through the community rather than being a source of conflict. As the sun begins to lower, casting a golden glow over the bustling market, The atmosphere shifts slowly and gracefully. The day's vibrant energy softens, not with the abruptness of closing time, but with the gentle unfolding of evening's intimacy and reflection. Vendors carefully begin to pack their goods, treating each item with reverence, as if preserving a treasure for tomorrow's exchange. Their movements are calm, deliberate, almost ritualistic, echoing the respect that defines every transaction here. The flower sellers craft their final arrangements from the last of their blooms, generously gifting vibrant bouquets to children, elders, and anyone whose smile reveals an appreciation for beauty. These blossoms will brighten homes and shrines throughout the city, carrying the market's grace beyond its boundaries and extending the day's peaceful commerce into the quiet contentment of evening. You settle yourself beside the fountain as the last vendors finish their gentle preparations. The sound of water cascading over stone mingles with distant conversations, occasional laughter, and the soft shuffle of feet on worn pathways, forming a soothing lullaby of human connection harmonizing with the rhythms of nature. Your eyelids grow heavy as you lean against the warm stone edge of the fountain, feeling a profound sense of belonging and calm. As twilight deepens, the market's lights begin to twinkle. Not harsh torches, but delicate oil lamps that cast pools of golden illumination. Their gentle glow spills softly across the cobblestones and water, creating shimmering reflections that dance like fireflies in the gathering dusk. This subtle light preserves the serene darkness of the evening, wrapping the market in a comforting embrace, inviting rest, reflection, and the quiet promise of another day to come. You wake slowly, gently, to the soft, rhythmic sound of water lapping against the carved stone steps of your home. The morning air is cool and fresh, carrying the delicate scent of blooming water lilies and the rich, earthy aroma of wet soil. You find yourself in Tenochtitlan, the great island city of the Aztecs, floating like a radiant jewel at the heart of Lake Texcoco. Your sleeping mat is woven from supple tule reeds, the same reeds that grow thickly along the lake's edges. Their smooth fibers cradle your body tenderly, still warm from the night's rest. Through the doorway of your adobe home, soft shafts of sunlight filter in, casting gentle, shifting patterns on walls painted with natural ochre and clay pigments, infused with stories of the earth. The sounds of the city's awakening reach you like a lullaby, a harmonious chorus of distant voices speaking in Nahuatl, the melodic language of your people. The light laughter of children echoing across the water. The steady splash of paddles dipping into the lake as early traders navigate their canoes through the labyrinth of canals. Rising slowly, your bare feet meet the cool volcanic Tezontle stone floor. Its rough texture grounds you, reminding you of your deep connection to the earth. Even as you live surrounded by water, you draw your cotton manta, a simple white robe woven on backstrap looms by skilled artisans, over your shoulders. Each thread was carefully spun from cotton grown in the warm valleys to the south, a tangible link to the land and the hands that nurtured it. Outside, the city unfolds before you like a living dream. Narrow canals weave between the rectangular islands, each carefully constructed with chinampas, the ingenious floating gardens that feed your people year-round. Morning mist rises softly from the water, cloaking the great temples in a veil of mystery and magic. The Templo Mayor, the great pyramid at the city's heart, slowly emerges from the mist like an ancient mountain. Its steep steps are painted vibrant red and blue, colors honoring Tlaloc, the god of rain, and Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and sun. But today there is no thought of war. Instead, a serene peace fills the air, harmonizing with the gentle rhythm of water and breeze. You make your way to the edge of your island home where a small wooden canoe awaits. It rocks softly, tied securely with rope made from maguey fibers, resilient and strong. You step carefully into the canoe, feeling it settle steadily beneath your weight, stable and ready. The paddle fits perfectly in your hands, its surface worn smooth by countless journeys across the lake. With a gentle push, you glide silently from the stone steps into the expansive network of canals that crisscross this floating world. Water hyacinths drift lazily past, their delicate purple blossoms nodding softly with the current. Ahead, a great blue heron stands motionless in the shallows, patiently waiting for the flash of silver fish beneath the surface. Its calm stillness is contagious, and you find your own breathing slowing, harmonizing with the gentle pulse of water beneath the boat. On either side, the chinampas stretch out like living tapestries, rectangular gardens built up from the lake's depths with layers of mud and decaying vegetation. Here, your people cultivate maize, beans, squash, tomatoes, and chilies, nurturing the crops that sustain generations. Willow trees line the borders of each plot, their roots anchoring the fertile soil and their drooping branches forming natural curtains that offer fleeting glimpses into the verdant gardens beyond. In one garden, an elderly farmer works quietly. His hands, darkened by rich earth, move with slow, deliberate care, tending rows of green maize stalks whose leaves whisper secrets to the morning breeze. His every gesture speaks of decades spent in harmony with the seasons, the rain, and the fertile mud of the lake, an enduring dance of patience and respect for nature's rhythms. Birds flit between the owls, their songs mingling with the soft rustle of leaves. The sun climbs steadily, casting golden light that warms the water's surface and ignites the colors of the gardens. Vivid greens, fiery reds, and sun-kissed yellows. The entire floating city hums with life, a living testament to your people's resilience, ingenuity, and deep connection to the land and water. As you paddle onward, the peacefulness of this morning journey seeps into your bones, carrying you gently forward through a world both ancient and alive, where every ripple, every bloom, and every breath reminds you that you are part of something far greater than yourself. The delicate scent of copal incense drifts softly across the shimmering water, rising in pale spirals from a small shrine nestled on a nearby island. Fresh marigolds, sympasikil, have been carefully arranged as offerings, their vibrant orange petals glowing brilliantly against the dark volcanic stone altar. The sweet, resinous smoke mingles effortlessly with the natural perfume of the lake. The earthy fragrance of water plants, the crispness of the morning air, and the faint musk of wet soil. Your paddle dips gently into the water, left, then right, each smooth stroke sending tiny whirlpools spiraling briefly before fading away. The canoe glides forward with the effortless grace of a water bird, tracing the ancient canals that have served as pathways for generations. These watery arteries connect family to family, garden to garden, heart to heart, a living network of life and community. Ahead, a towering cypress tree rises from a chinampa, its ancient trunk thick and weathered with age. Its roots delve deep into the fertile soil beneath the water, anchoring it firmly, while its wide-spreading branches offer cool, dappled shade to the gardeners working patiently below. Draped from its limbs, strands of Spanish moss hang like silken gray-green curtains, swaying gently in the soft breeze that rustles through the leaves. Beneath the cypress's protective canopy, children play quietly with small clay figurines, their voices low and musical, as if aware that this moment calls for gentle wonder and calm discovery. Their laughter bubbles up like fresh spring water, pure, natural, and unrestrained, blending harmoniously with the rustle of leaves and the soft hum of the waking world. The sun climbs higher in the sky, burning away the final wisps of morning mist. The water surrounding your canoe becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting the drifting clouds and the vast blue above. Beneath the surface, small fish dart gracefully, their silvery scales catching scattered beams of sunlight and turning into fleeting jewels that shimmer and sparkle with every flick of their fins. Above, an egret glides serenely, its wings moving with slow, deliberate grace as if hovering in the still air. Its pristine white feathers seem to glow against the deep azure sky, a radiant beacon of calm and beauty. You watch the bird until it disappears beyond a stand of willow trees, leaving behind only the lingering memory of effortless elegance. From the ceremonial center, the temple bells begin to ring, a delicate symphony of bronze and copper chiming in harmonious patterns. Their sound carries across the water, touching every corner of the sprawling city, calling the people to morning prayers, yet also simply marking the precious passage of time. Each chime is a reminder. Another day has begun in this floating paradise. As you glide along, you notice how the water changes subtly with each stretch of the canal system. Here, it is dark and rich with nutrients, heavy with the life-giving mud stirred from the gardens. There, it is crystal clear, bubbling fresh and cool from hidden springs beneath the lake bed. Each section has its own unique character, its own gentle personality, like chapters in a living book of nature. A merchant's canoe drifts past, laden with goods from far-flung markets. Baskets overflow with glossy cacao beans, bundles of obsidian blades wrapped carefully in soft cloth, bright feathers from tropical birds, and heaps of salt harvested from the distant eastern shores. The merchant moves slowly, without hurry or haste, flowing in tune with the peaceful rhythm of the morning. The floating gardens stretch as far as the eye can see, a lush patchwork of green and brown. Every plot is tended with loving care, each crop thriving in its proper season. Vines heavy with ripe tomatoes glisten with morning dew, their red skins smooth and glossy under the sun's early rays. Squash blossoms unfurl like tiny yellow stars, delicate and radiant, ready to be gathered for the evening meal. You guide your canoe into a quieter, more secluded part of the canal, where the water barely stirs. Here, lotus flowers bloom in silent, sacred splendor, their pink and white petals flawless against broad, dark green leaves. The blossoms float serenely on the surface like offerings to the water gods, each one a perfect testament to beauty and tranquility beyond words. Nearby, an old woman sits beside a small cooking fire on a chinampa's edge, stirring a pot of steaming atoll, the warm, nourishing maize drink that comforts and sustains. Wisps of fragrant steam rise from the clay vessel, carrying notes of vanilla and honey into the air. She looks up and offers you a gentle nod, a quiet greeting full of kindness, before returning to her steady stirring, each motion soothing and hypnotic. The morning grows warmer, but gradually, tenderly. The sun's rays feel soft and gentle on your skin, filtered through the humid breath rising from the lake. Seeking respite, you paddle beneath the overhanging branches of an ancient awiwedi tree. Its feathery leaves form a natural canopy overhead, casting cool shade and filling the air with the subtle, fragrant resin that the tree exudes. All around your canoe, water striders glide effortlessly across the glassy surface, their delicate legs creating tiny dimples that ripple outward in perfect circles. They move with such grace and balance that they seem like tiny dancers performing on water, masters of stillness and motion combined. Watching them, you feel your own eyelids growing heavy, the gentle sway of the canoe and the soft rustling of leaves lulling you deeper into a state of peaceful relaxation. In this sacred place, embraced by earth, water, and sky, time slows. Every sound, every scent, every sight weaves together into a quiet symphony of life, a song that carries you gently forward, into calm, into peace, into a moment that feels like forever. A gentle breeze stirs the water, sending soft ripples gliding toward your canoe. They kiss the wooden sides with a rhythmic hush, a lullaby whispered by the lake itself. It is the heartbeat of this place. Slow backslash, steady, ancient. You close your eyes. Let the moment hold you, the breath of wind against your skin, the rocking motion of the boat, the scent of earth and flower and water, all merge into a single sensation, pure presence. You feel yourself dissolve into it, as if the boundaries of your body no longer matter. When you open your eyes again, a great blue morpho butterfly rests on the edge of your canoe, Its wings shimmer like liquid sky, shifting from deep sapphire to flashes of silver. It remains still, calm, as if it too understands that this journey is sacred, that it is safe beside you. The canal bends ahead, curving like a ribbon drawn by the hand of time. You let the current guide you. No need to steer, just trust. Paddle across your lap, hands resting, heart open. You become a passenger in a world that flows with its own perfect logic. From across the water, the voices of children drift on the breeze. They are singing the old songs, stories passed down like heirlooms, songs that tell of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, of sun and moon, of stars born from sacrifice. Their voices rise and fall like birds in flight, carrying the wisdom of ancestors into tomorrow. You glance into the water, and it's like gazing into time. The bottom is visible, rich mud dark with centuries of care, built from layers of love and labor, rainfall and roots, fish and fallen leaves. The very soul of this land lies beneath you, deep and silent and generous. A white pelican glides past, its body still, wings outstretched, skimming the surface with effortless grace. It seems to know the way without thinking. Guided by something older than maps or memory, you follow it with your eyes until it disappears into the bend, leaving behind a sense of peace and a quiet invitation to move gently through life. From a nearby home, the scent of chocolate rises, warm and rich. Someone is preparing the sacred drink, cacao crushed with vanilla and cinnamon, perhaps a touch of chili. It smells like ceremony, like warmth shared between friends, like a prayer offered in gratitude to the land. The light grows softer now, gold filtering through the canopy of willow and awiwedi trees, dappling your skin in shifting patterns. Your canoe floats into shade, where dragonflies hover like living jewels, and frogs chirp softly from the reeds. You pass lotus flowers blooming in still pools, their petals untouched by the mud beneath them, rising pure, pink and white and serene, each one a quiet miracle, a reminder that beauty is always possible, even in the darkest waters. An old woman tends a cooking fire on a chinampa nearby. She stirs a pot slowly, steadily, her movements as calm as the morning. Steam rises, carrying the scent of vanilla and maize. She looks up and smiles, not at you specifically, but at the moment itself, the shared rhythm of living things. You feel warmth on your shoulders, the sun higher now but gentle, its rays diffused by the lake's rising mist. You close your eyes again, just for a moment, letting your breath match the rhythm of the water, letting everything fall away. And when you open them once more, the world has gone quiet, not silent, but sacred. Every sound, water lapping, leaves rustling, a distant bird call, feels intentional, like part of a larger song. You place your paddle beside you, lie back in the canoe. The cushion beneath your head cradles you like the arms of someone who has always known you. The boat rocks softly, not ding, but dreaming, cradled by the hands of the lake. A final breeze ripples the surface, golden light glinting off the waves like scattered coins from the gods. And in that shimmering world, you let go, your breath deepens, the chinampas hold you, the water sings, and sleep comes. A gentle breeze stirs the water, sending soft ripples gliding toward your canoe. They kiss the wooden sides with a rhythmic hush, a lullaby whispered by the lake itself. It is the heartbeat of this place. Slow / steady, ancient. You close your eyes. Let the moment hold you. The breath of wind against your skin, the rocking motion of the boat, the scent of earth and flower and water, all merge into a single sensation, pure presence. You feel yourself dissolve into it, as if the boundaries of your body no longer matter. When you open your eyes again, a great blue morpho butterfly rests on the edge of your canoe. Its wings shimmer like liquid sky, shifting from deep sapphire to flashes of silver. It remains still, calm, as if it too understands that this journey is sacred, that it is safe beside you. The canal bends ahead, curving like a ribbon drawn by the hand of time. You let the current guide you. No need to steer, just trust. Paddle across your lap, hands resting, heart open. You become a passenger in a world that flows with its own perfect logic. From across the water, the voices of children drift on the breeze. They are singing the old songs, stories passed down like heirlooms, songs that tell of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, of sun and moon, of stars born from sacrifice. Their voices rise and fall like birds in flight, carrying the wisdom of ancestors into tomorrow. You glance into the water, and it's like gazing into time. The bottom is visible, rich mud dark with centuries of care, built from layers of love and labor, rainfall and roots, fish and fallen leaves. The very soul of this land lies beneath you, deep and silent and generous. A white pelican glides past, its body still, wings outstretched, skimming the surface with effortless grace. It seems to know the way without thinking. Guided by something older than maps or memory, you follow it with your eyes until it disappears into the bend, leaving behind a sense of peace and a quiet invitation to move gently through life. From a nearby home, the scent of chocolate rises, warm and rich. Someone is preparing the sacred drink. Cacao crushed with vanilla and cinnamon. Perhaps a touch of chili. It smells like ceremony, like warmth shared between friends, like a prayer offered in gratitude to the land. The light grows softer now / gold filtering through the canopy of willow and awiwedi trees, dappling your skin in shifting patterns. Your canoe floats into shade. where dragonflies hover like living jewels and frogs chirp softly from the reeds. You pass lotus flowers blooming in still pools, their petals untouched by the mud beneath them, rising pure, pink and white and serene, each one a quiet miracle, a reminder that beauty is always possible, even in the darkest waters. An old woman tends a cooking fire on a chinampa nearby. She stirs a pot slowly, steadily, her movements as calm as the morning. Steam rises, carrying the scent of vanilla and maize. She looks up and smiles, not at you specifically, but at the moment itself, the shared rhythm of living things. You feel warmth on your shoulders. The sun higher now backslash, but gentle, its rays diffused by the lake's rising mist. You close your eyes again, just for a moment, letting your breath match the rhythm of the water, letting everything fall away. And when you open them once more, the world has gone quiet, not silent, but sacred. Every sound, water lapping, leaves rustling, a distant bird call, feels intentional, like part of a larger song. You place your paddle beside you, lie back in the canoe. The cushion beneath your head cradles you like the arms of someone who has always known you. The boat rocks softly, not ding, but dreaming, cradled by the hands of the lake. A final breeze ripples the surface, golden light glinting off the waves like scattered coins from the gods. And in that shimmering world, you let go, your breath deepens, the chinampas hold you, the water sings, and sleep comes. If you want this version adapted for AI narration, slower pacing, breathing spaces, etc., or split into chapters or scenes, just let me know. Visible currents below you, endless rows of chinampas stretch like emerald threads through silver water, each one a garden of memory, a breath planted in soil. You pass over families sharing tortillas, lovers napping in the sun, elders blessing seeds with song. In one garden, a boy releases a firefly into the dusk. In another, a woman writes poetry on a leaf and lets it float away. You feel each moment enter you and leave again, like waves upon the shore. And then, in the sky ahead, a great obsidian mirror appears, suspended in the air, slowly turning. You drift toward it. It shows not your face, but your essence, your laughter, your losses, your dreams as a child, your fears you never spoke aloud. They shimmer like colors inside glass. You are whole. You are seen. You are loved. You drift onward, through cloud and breath, through memory and wind. The stars begin to appear, soft pinpricks of gold and fire, and each one whispers a name, not of a person, but of a feeling, belonging, wonder, trust, forgiveness. You collect them gently, placing them like gems in the folds of your spirit, and one by one, they begin to glow within you, You are becoming the sky now. You are becoming the water. You are the cradle. You are the child. And far below, in the waking world, the canoe still rocks gently in the arms of the lake, the night wrapping around you like silk, the stars reflecting in your closed eyes, and all is calm, and all is bright, and all is well. You are home. You are safe. Sleep, now forever, gently held by the floating gardens of dreams. If you'd like this as audio-ready script formatting with pauses, voice instructions, etc., or a version in Persian too, let me know and I'll adjust it accordingly. Of course, here's an asterisk long-form continuation of the same narrative, expanding the dreamlike tone, building from your drifting sleep into a deep journey between memory, nature, and spirit. It can be used for bedtime storytelling, meditation, or background narration. Sleep embraces you like the arms of the earth herself. In that cradle of quiet warmth, you begin to drift deeper, beneath the surface of waking thought, beyond the edge of memory. The canoe becomes a feather, the lake an endless sky, and you, just breath and light, floating in the space between dreams. You find yourself walking now, barefoot along a soft path woven with moss and fallen blossoms. Each step lands soundlessly, as if the ground recognizes you, welcomes you. Trees rise around you like watchful elders, their trunks thick with age, their branches heavy with fruit and wisdom. They do not speak, but their silence teaches. Birdsong filters through the leaves, not from one direction but from everywhere, harmonizing like an unseen choir. Their melodies wrap around you like a shawl, familiar, and yet from another time. Perhaps the birds are singing to asterisk the trees, or perhaps they sing just for you. Up ahead, the path opens into a vast field, and beyond it, a mountain looms, not imposing, but serene, cloaked in mist and memory. You feel no fear, only a pull, a calling, as if your spirit recognizes something sacred at its summit. As you walk, flowers bloom beneath your steps, not crushed, but called forth, as if your presence awakens the earth. Orchids, lilies, wild marigolds, each one unfolds with a soft breath, releasing fragrance into the air, sense of childhood. Rain-soaked mornings, firelight and stories told in whispers. You reach a stream that murmurs gently across the land. Its water is impossibly clear. You kneel and cup some into your hands. As it touches your lips, a wave of memory rushes through you. Your grandmother's laughter. The first time you felt sunlight on your back. The night you watched stars with someone you loved. The water carries not just coolness, but connection. A quiet remembrance of all the lives and moments that made you. And now, as you drift into deeper rest, we gently leave you to the quiet embrace of sleep. Thank you for joining us on this peaceful journey tonight. If our stories bring calm to your evenings, we invite you to support the channel by giving this video a like, and subscribing for more sleep tales every night. Your support helps keep the stories flowing and the dreams gentle. Until next time, sleep well, and may your dreams carry you somewhere beautiful.